exit 22, so I'll be there. I'll try to have.
Okay,
You can't because the internet here, the network's
all
not
right,
working.
so as soon as you're
But I can
able.
just leave you on the phone if you want.
I'm fine, I'm sure. I can
Okay.
talk, whatever.
Okay,
So,
so we have Eric.
and we got Charlie.
So we've got all
Is
of
he have
us.
pants on?
All right, so I've got the recorder going, I've got the camera going, we're good to go.
That's the note.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'm going to declare this meeting open at 6:10. Today is April 16th,
Yep.
2021. All right. I suppose they haven't changed 91A, so I've got to read this checklist, right? The chair of the budget committee finds that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and in accordance with the governor's emergency order 12 pursuant to executive order 2020-04, this public body is authorized to meet in person and electronically. Please note that the physical location to attend the meeting is Northfield Town Hall at 21 Summer Street in Northfield. Read that part. Okay. Oops, there, went through that zone. We're going to start this meeting by taking a roll call attendance. Jane,
Jane Alden,
Kevin,
Kevin Mulder.
Scott Lewandowski.
Jason,
Jason Wright.
and we have Charlie.
Charlie, say your name.
Hello, my name is Charlie.
Eric, say your name.
Eric Fire.
Catherine Dawson. All right. So, first order of business is to elect a chair and a co-chair. Does anybody have any nominations, or anybody want to take a position? What's your pleasure? Let's do chair first. Jane?
I nominate Catherine Dawson for chair.
Second.
Anybody else want to be chair?
Negative.
All right, roll call vote. Jane?
Alden, yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Scott?
Scott, yes.
Eric? Eric?
Yeah, I can't hear anything.
Oh, hold on.
We're voting.
Catherine's been nominated for chair and we're voting. I'm moving you down closer to her.
Who was nominated?
Catherine?
Okay,
So you need your vote, yes or no?
yes.
Charlie?
Catherine Dawson for chair, yes or no?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Okay. I can't hear you.
No, the recorder. Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to vote for vice chair. We need nominations. Does anybody want to be vice chair? Anybody?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Pardon?
I do it.
I'll
I'll
nominate
second that.
Jason Wright.
I'll second it.
Okay. We have a motion and a second for Jason Wright as vice chair. Roll call vote, please. Jane?
Alden, yes.
Kevin Waldron, yes.
Scott, yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Charlie?
Yes.
And Eric?
Fire, yes.
Dawson, yes. Okay. Next on the agenda is review the budgeting process.
Does everybody have the budget book that Catherine printed up last year? If you don't, I have copies.
I have it.
I'll borrow one.
You just have it.
Oh, this book.
Yeah, that,
Yeah, I have one, but I didn't.
you need it, yeah, Jane?
Yeah, I need to know.
Okay. So, I am relatively new to fire district budgeting. And it being a green So for me, it will help to watch how the commissioners spend their budget. And in fact, in chapter 32, there is a section that allows the budget committee to have those reports. I made a list. Oh, here it is. So we have, what have you given us, Cal? You've given us the FRS and equipment replacement fund.
Budget versus actual.
Yeah.
I have both here, the operating and the
And the
operating
operating
equipment.
and
And this is, I haven't had a chance to look at these.
This is as of March 31st.
So this is what has been spent this year as of March 21st in its entirety, right?
yes.
Right.
Okay, so far. And is this produced monthly?
Yes.
Okay. And we'll continue to get a copy of this monthly?
Yes, I'll email it to everybody monthly.
Okay. And this is the operating budget, the same thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Kevin, did you print out a copy?
I did.
Okay.
Is there any, or I should say, are there any reports that anybody would like to get besides these? Anything anybody'd like to see? And you have a contingency fund. Eric, right?
What's that?
Your contingency fund warrant article passed, did it not?
Yes.
I don't recall off the top of my head.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
me
did.
neither. Yes, it did, I'm hearing, okay. Now, that is a just in case, correct?
Yes,
There's no plans for it, it's a just in case, okay.
but it is it is listed in the operating budget.
Yeah,
All warrant articles that passed are included in the budgets,
okay.
in these reports, I should say.
All right, I can't think of any. So my next question is, do you want to meet monthly to go over the expenditure reports, etc.? Or do you want to, do you want to start later in the summer to meet? Also, going along with the meeting part, and I don't know if the fire district budget committee has ever done this, actually prepared their budget rather than adopting the fire commissioner's budget.
It's always come from commissioners to us.
Okay, and that's typical.
It's never been, yeah, it's never been done the other way around that I know of.
I know of you.
And do you want to continue working off that budget, or do you want to create our own budget? You can start with zero, you can work off of the existing budget, you can... Anybody?
I've only known that suggestion to have been made one other time. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with it. Because it is the budget committee's budget that goes
That's right.
to the annual meeting. And I don't know if it was the second or third year. I don't know if it was the second or third year after the inception of the budget committee, and then it was put in, and it was,
Eric.
I don't know if it's the second or third year that suggestion was made, and for whatever reason.
It was pretty early on, so I was still on then.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
with Gretchen and.
Yes, Don Stevens.
Yeah,
But the suggestion was made, and I don't remember what, I know it didn't happen, but I don't
yeah,
remember. I don't have any recollection why.
Yeah, like a-
That was before you were here.
Like a zero budget, round up.
That's right. It was opposite of what had taken place the year or two before.
Right.
Rather than get the
Yeah, I
information.
don't remember. I
I mean,
remember.
typically it goes from the chief to the commissioners to the budget committee.
Right.
And, you know what, I'm wondering now if it was lack of knowledge or experience how to do it the other way. Because everyone involved has been on other budget committees, but it's always been done the way we've done it. We're up-
Yeah.
The town budget works the same way. The school budget comes from Edinburgh
Superintendent. Yeah.
to the school board, to the school board, to the school district budget committee. So that's, I
That
see,
was, the school district was a very interesting budgeting process. I feel like that was very important. But, so chapter 32 says the budget committee will prepare a budget. It doesn't say how
right,
or what, shape it's in. But it is a budget independent of the commissioners. The commissioners create a default budget. And the reason they do that is in case the budget committee misses a day of public hearing, then that default budget is in place. So we can continue as you have been and working on the commissioner's budget. My only issue is, as a selectman, we were always waiting for that budget to present itself. This year, we spent a lot of time on outside agencies and very little time on the budget itself because it was so late coming to us.
so in Tilton, does it go from 0 up?
Years ago, it did. Well, they didn't go from 0 up. They went and took, this is when I very first, I think it was like 19, 20 years ago. They took an average. They went back, I'm going to say 5 years. I'm not sure how many years they went back. And they took an average and they plopped that in the column. Came forward with an average. And then they looked at, then they interviewed the department heads. Of course, Tilton has, public works, police, all these departments. And the fire district doesn't really have much. And, what's gas look like, what's heating fuel, et cetera, et cetera. And they did the 10-year plan for trucks, looked at all that stuff, and came up with a budget.
Okay, what you just described is exactly how at the town level we do it. The department heads will come to the selectmen and say, this is what I want to do, this is what, why, where, and how it all. And the selectmen make any adjustments they feel it's passed off. And because it's the budget committee's budget that goes to the annual meeting for the vote, I always kind of thought that, well, the department heads do their thing, the selectmen do their thing, and then the budget committee can do what do they want with it. They can take it, they can leave it, they can change it. So why are all the other people spending all this time on this budget when you're going to hand it out to someone to shred as they see fit? So I kind of like the idea of it starting here.
I like to be well into budgeting. I mean, it also helps, so me as a budget committee member, it helps me to really know the budget, to really know, what's been spent in the past, but, this year, and I really have a great idea of budget. This year, I felt really lost. I was like, wow, even though I tried to study past year, fire district budgets. And you're not waiting for that other budget to come to you to try to create one out of it. You're looking at costs without really having a good idea, how did we get to that much money? Why are we spending this on this? So what does everybody think? Do you want to work off the commissioner's budget, or do we want to start budgeting and come up with a budget committee budget? We will still be looking at the commissioner's budget. At least you'll have something to compare it to.
I think some of the tactics that go to the methods that the chief uses is, you look at averages too, you go back 3 years and try to, you know, and wipe out any spikes or, you know, hey, this was a bad year where we had to do this, and we shouldn't have to do that every year. So I think some of that is already built into the process, but I think taking a different, I've always wanted to come at it from a different angle, you know, and I think it's easier than trying to do a town or a city budget because there isn't department heads like, you know, I watched, you know, the city of Franklin tell Public Works, hey, you gotta back off on this year because the fire department has to do this, and then you have to take a, you know, a seat because the PD needs to do this. But if we don't have all those moving parts, we, you know.
Jane, what do you think?
I think we can do it either way, but I think we'll need some input from, the chief on things,
Absolutely.
you know, and from Kathy also. And I think if we did it that way and took averages, it would be great.
Yes, and that's exactly how it should be done.
Yeah.
And if any things are, you know, the commissioners probably cover this, but if anything's, is this a year where a certain line is up for bid? Is there insurance being bid, or is there
Our big change.
some sort of contract or service or IT, or is there something that's,
Yeah.
you know, being bid upon, and, you know, or quotes being sought, or, you know, or we just go ahead and spend what we spend.
Kevin?
You know, I'd like to try something different, honestly.
I tell you what I don't like is showing up in December and chasing it for, you know,
Exactly.
in the last minute,
I don't
with
either.
winter and
And
snow.
that's the way it's always been.
I don't,
After
Yeah.
typically the public hearing, the budget committee wouldn't meet again until,
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
November-ish or
Yeah.
whatever it was, right? So it's been since you've
after
been.
district meeting, right.
Yeah, it's December and here you go.
Oh, really?
Quick, we have a meeting, you know, we have a public hearing coming up, so we gotta run through this quick.
So when I prepare the budget, most of my budget is done by the end of September.
Yeah, I would,
And then the commissioners go through it, and as they go through it, it seems like November, they start saying, well, you guys should probably start looking at it.
right,
And then you get 1 or 2 meetings, and then it's Christmas time and stuff
Okay.
like that.
It'd be really nice if it was 90% done come December.
Oh, it's all done by then. but-
No, I mean for us.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
There were certain things near the end of the year that I don't know really what that number of, I'm gonna put forth is because of what's going on, but, most of it's done well before that. And if you guys wanna review it in concert with the commissioners or something, so we're not, you know, I don't feel like going through 28 more meetings in here.
Well, I think it's real important that both you, Mike, and Kathy communicate with us because you're the ones who know things coming down the pipe. And I think you prepare your narrative based on all of the things that we aren't privy to. And you, as an administrative person, would know changes in insurance. I mean, that can make a big difference in a budget, the different things that are coming down in terms of insurance and all. So I think it's real important that we get that line of communication set down pretty quickly.
The hard part with the insurance, on the health insurance especially, is we don't have the rates until the middle to the end of October. But we always quote it out when our contract is coming to an end.
Yeah.
We send it out for quotes
Yeah,
so that we are prepared for when we get that final, so we know which one's the best.
Yeah,
Those are
right.
the last things to come in, is the insurances.
Yeah.
Everything else we got pretty much all set. But that's a big deal.
Scott, what do you think?
I don't think we need to wait for the commissioner's budget. I think if the chief has a budget, we have some averages and even the actuals for the years present, I think we could probably figure it out from there.
And your budget is by the end of September, you said?
Except insurance, except for certain things that we just don't have.
Oh, yeah, well, I
Yes.
mean, insurance is gonna be what it is.
Right.
Really.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Charlie, what do you, were you able to follow along in this conversation?
Trying to process this. So we're talking about starting earlier, like September, October?
Yes.
In the same manner that we do, in that the process is, Mike does the budget, it goes to the commissioners, and then we look at it.
No. Budget comes straight to us, and wherever else it goes, like to the commissioners, it can go there too. So the budget committee has the authority to create your own budget. So, and that also includes interviewing department heads and whatever information they require to do that. So, if the chief's budget is prepared by the end of September, we can ask for that budget and we can work off of that starting the first part of October. And then the commissioners can do, you know, if they want to start working on it beginning of October, they can do that. Or if they tell the chief, we want your budget by the 1st of August, they're going to do what they want to do without interference from us. Do you understand?
Sort of. It sounds like a lot more work for us, right?
Not necessarily. Much more informed,
It'll be better work.
yeah.
Yeah, it'll be better work and I think we'll be more informed, especially with the expenditure reports and watching how the budget is spent. That does help.
I see. Yeah, that doesn't sound horrible.
Okay, Eric, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it. For some reason, it seems this year, the commissioners started, I think in October, but for some reason, the budget committee didn't get going. This is my first year with the budget committee. But, you know, as they go through things, you know,
Yeah,
fill it in so at least the budget committee can see what the commissioners are thinking at the same time. So, because I think Kathy usually goes back and color codes the empty spaces,
yeah,
you know, but the budget committee can, you know, work on something else at the same time,
okay.
so.
Are you staying as a,
We usually don't decide that until the fall, so, because again, this is the first time, I think, as we said earlier, that the budget committee's met this early into the cycle.
So your original question, for me, I'd meet once a month just to track spending and just to go through the exercise.
Mhm.
Whether it's a half an hour, 2 hours, I mean, we don't know if it's gonna be a productive thing to do, but I think it's worth exploring. To plant the flag once a month, to sit down, if we all, you know, if we're not making any decisions, but at least as a workshop type of thing.
Well, we can
Maybe
make
it doesn't maybe not
decisions.
have to be a quorum type of thing, but
Well, it should be, if we're going
we're not
to,
taking any action. We just wanna workshop it.
well, even having a discussion about it is, the public wants to hear.
Mm.
So it should be a meeting, there should be a quorum, and it gives us the freedom to discuss, and it also gives us freedom to say, okay, we're gonna meet next month, that's a decision.
I don't wanna put pressure on the whole group to meet as a whole group. Oh, we're already in the second quarter, so.
I mean, I see town expenses every week,
Yeah.
but I don't dig, and I dig actually quarterly. And say, where are we, where should we be,
I mean,
how
it
much of the budget
Or we
have I
could meet
spent?
every other month.
Because 1 month doesn't equal a trend, but 3 months might.
right, and you'll get the monthly, and you'll get these reports monthly.
So if we get reports monthly and met
Why don't we meet every other month?
every other month,
Every other month?
what would that
What
be
do you
called,
think about
bi-monthly?
Jason?
I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, that's fine, because, you know, once the data's there, and I'd almost, when you said something about a 5-year look, I'd like to see that everywhere I go, and it doesn't seem like we get that at, you know, town, or you see the previous, or, I think sometimes we do 3 years here, right? We look at 3.
That's
So,
previous 3 years.
as long as we're getting at least 3, that's, you know, more is better, but.
The district doesn't have a finance officer, right? You have a treasurer. You're the finance.
Well,
Wow.
We have a treasurer.
How
and
many
chief-
titles do you have? Or is it like jobs?
So I'm the
Hold on.
chief executive officer of the fire district.
Uh-huh.
Kathy's the administrative assistant, but she wears a lot of hats as well. The fire commissioners are, we're a special village district, so we're structured like the town, where the commissioners are like selectmen, and I'm the town manager, or
No,
town
you're not the
administrator.
town manager.
Actually,
Firing.
in relation
In
to
relation
that.
to.
Yes, I am the town manager. in
No, you're
relation to that.
similar to a town manager. Trust me.
And
I know what
in
a
that
village,
respect.
yeah, thank you, I know what a village district is. But even a finance officer in town is optional. I should know that.
So we have a treasurer and clerk.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what does everybody think every other month?
Fine.
Certainly.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the next time we'll meet is June?
Sure.
Anybody having any vacations in June?
How's, let's see, June,
When do the reports come out? What part of the month?
on the first.
The first day,
Okay.
The commissioners will, are meeting on June 8th, and they'll be, you guys want to meet on the 11th? That's, or, are you sticking with Fridays?
Is everybody good with Friday?
That's
Probably.
fine. Good with me.
So you're really only looking at June, August, and October.
That's right.
Well, in August, you may decide to change that.
Right.
It depends on.
Yeah, we may want to ramp it up a little.
Right, we can meet in June and decide.
Right.
Let's meet every month. How does
June
that sound?
11th is,
Eric? Yes, Charlie, did you hear that?
Every other month?
We're talking every other month. Well, we're talking about meeting in June. And then in June, if we feel we want to change that, meet in July, we can decide then.
Okay.
Well, at least we won't be meeting in May. Scott, are you going to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I prefer every 3. I think quarterly for me is probably all. I think to get a trend, I don't know if every other month we're going to see trends per se, but I think quarters we would see trends. My only suggestion would be, I know that if the chief I know you're going to send out this stuff for us. I mean, if you could even send out, like if you're seeing any overages in a budget, maybe just send a note or something like that. I'd be okay with that too, forgoing maybe a meeting for the summer months just to get through that, but that's my thoughts.
Okay. All right, like I said, so we can meet in June and then decide if we need to keep doing that or go right to October. All right,
I can give you a brief overview of what I think's going on right now, if you like.
you mean in April that we don't have here?
Well, just
Or review what we have in our hands?
do what you have in your hand. I can tell you what's going on.
Everybody good with that? Thank you, Chief. That would be great. Charlie, did you hear that?
If you talk, you don't have to read.
All right, can I move Charlie over to you? Chief, so he can hear better?
What date in June did we say we're gonna meet?
On the 11th.
Okay.
What time?
Earlier, please.
All right,
Friday nights in the summer are prime time.
June 11th. Are we still meeting at 6 or 5:30, 5 o'clock? What's your pleasure?
Noon works.
I get a feeling people work.
Yes.
Everybody? 6 o'clock,
I
5:30?
could do earlier.
I can do earlier too if you want.
5.
More than Plymouth now.
What's the earliest people can make it here?
You can.
Jason,
No,
can you make it here at 5?
Fairfield Inn.
Kevin, can you make it here at 5?
Yep.
Scott?
Yeah.
Charlie, can you make it here at 5?
Yep.
So Friday?
Friday, June 11th.
Is that the Friday at Vikings?
Should be able to.
Oh,
That's
Yes,
the
it
first
is.
Friday, but
I didn't hear
Oh,
what
it
he said.
is?
yeah.
Oh,
Friday?
But
Do we
Viking's
really
not
care?
really-
And we don't care.
So it's not like.
What did Charlie say?
yeah, the first week.
Okay, but can you make it here at 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can bring your motorcycle if you
I was
want.
thinking Kevin if he was gonna take his
Yeah.
bike week.
We can all,
Okay.
we can go earlier.
June 11th at 5.
Okay.
All right.
Right, Chief?
All right, for the apparatus and equipment fund, we've hardly spent any money in there, and there's really not much to say. That'll happen as we go along through the year. and most of the money in the apparatus and equipment fund spent over the course of the year is EMS things and equipment that wise, we usually wait till towards near the end of the year to really spend up on the equipment that we've budgeted for. So there's really not much to say there. Going towards the operating budget, what I look for overages, overall overages. And so the first thing I see is legal services. We've already overspent the budgeted amount by nearly $1,000. So that's going to be a problem going forward.
Is that an unusual issue, or that came up
Is it about the land,
unexpected,
or-
or?
It's not about the land,
Okay,
it's about the water district.
gotcha.
Okay, so it was,
Well, that was one of those areas where we sat in this meeting and said, well, what do you, geez, chief, what could you possibly need legal for, right?
Yep.
And we thought it was a big number and we trimmed it back, or we tried to, or yeah, so.
Oops.
Well,
What
It
is
happens.
the update while we're on that? Where are you at with that? What are they doing?
They increased the rate and billed us for the hydrants.
They did, okay.
Yeah.
They did.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
They
that.
increased the rate that they're charging for the hydrants and billed us, even though we
Okay.
have no money in the budget. They increased the annual charge by $70,000.
Like 70,000?
17
Per quarter.
no, that's for the whole year.
For the whole year?
Oh, no, wait a minute, that's
No,
per
it's
quarter.
per quarter.
That's per quarter,
So it's
So 68
70,000.
grand.
yeah, a year, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah.
So, the attorneys asked us not to really talk about it.
I was just gonna say, this is, you're consulting with an attorney.
Yeah.
But that's the update.
Gotcha. All right.
The next line that I look that's kind of over budget right now is the Spalding Tower. It's where our repeater site is. Electricity, so we've never had, I had no idea what the electricity was gonna cost there. And after 3 months, we're almost fully expended on the electricity. But the electricity there also runs the HVAC system, and if it was really cold, the heat comes on, and the equipment has to be maintained within a certain degree. So after this first year, I'll have a better idea of where that's gonna be going forward. I just didn't know where it was gonna be. The next item that, where we're overexpended is the maintenance on the Center Street Fire Station. The boil broke, and we had to replace it, and the low bid was $9,500, and so that was done.
And there would be something you could use contingency money for, isn't it? To catch.
At the end of the year, if we need to, yeah, like legal or the boiler or whatever, I don't know what the legal's gonna be going forward.
Right.
So those are the few of the things. The other things, individual pieces, engine 3, we've spent 128% of what we budgeted for engine 3 this year, as well as car 3, it's 252% above what we budgeted for this year.
What was it?
Car 3, the deputy's car. That's in line to be replaced in the next budget. Yeah. But overall, at the end of March, we're at 24.6% through the calendar year. We've only expended 21.1% of the budget. So overall, we're still okay. So as we go through the year, I really tried hard to keep that number manageable so that at the end of the year, we're not touching, the extra money or going to have to ask DRA for anything. Equipment-wise, the new engine that was ordered last year should be in service by October, so we're really treating engine 1 pretty gingerly right now, so nothing really bad goes bad with it. And that's really about it. So even though we have some lines that are overexpended right now, We're still under expending as the budget goes, but it's still early, it's only the first quarter.
One of our full-timers has left and gone to Hanover Fire Department. He lives in Vermont, so he moved closer to home. And so, one good thing is we might get somebody for less money. But the insurance is going to be up in the air on that because he was an opt-out, so we don't know what the new hire will be.
Yeah, insurance is gonna, it's up in the air.
Yeah.
It's- You know, we're a fairly young department, and folks are having babies that, you know, they come to us, they're single, then they get married, and they move up to a dual plan, and next thing you know, somebody's pregnant, and then we're having a family plan after that, so that's always something that's in flux over the course of the year,
Yeah.
and we usually have no problems with that.
Right, because we budget the half-year family plan as
Extra.
as extra, and we do have it double going to a family later in August.
But what I can say about the health insurance overall, over the course of the last few years, is that because we offer an opt-out to our employees that's equal to a single-family plan, if they opt out, a single-person plan, excuse me, we have like 5 or 6 people in opt-out now, rather than taking a family plan. So in the overall, it's cheaper for the district.
Do you have any questions?
Chief, what do you see for next year? What do you see for big stuff? Anything on your radar?
Just replacing part 3. Other than that, I don't see any, if that's, if you want to call that big stuff. Other than that, I don't see anything big stuff coming along, unless the, a fire station money would go to the district, that would be a different thing altogether.
What is the status of the,
Station committee?
what was it called?
Fire
Which
station.
committee?
Yeah,
The building choices, options.
So the commissioners are, I have a thing on the website about a design committee or something.
There was, an article was supposed to be written by,
Oh, yes, yes.
not me,
Yeah. And be
for
put in
the,
the paper.
yeah, to go into the paper regarding, the funding source to keep the safer people, as well as, the building design. And nothing, that's still up in the air, they're working on it. Scott, you're the only person so far that has applied to be on the funding.
Oh.
so the committee has done its job and,
Are you talking about the building committee?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a design committee that's gonna be formed, that was your intent, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it not going to be that same committee?
I don't believe so. Well,
I think a couple people have moved out of district. So the idea is to recruit a couple
A
replacements.
couple people on the
Yeah.
fire station committee?
Who's the woman's name, I can't think of her name, that had an engineering background.
Lisa?
Yeah.
Lisa, yeah.
Yeah. I was told she moved to Florida. Or out of the district.
I don't know, if I don't know if she still lives in town.
All right, I don't know.
And Todd Odell,
Yeah.
Who else?
Todd Odell, we don't know where he is.
He is in town, he's on the planning board in the Tilton.
All right.
So if you have a design committee, do you have a location?
The parks, the fire station, the 2019 Fire Station Building Committee recommended to go with a single fire station at the Park Street location.
And nothing in Tilton?
That was the recommendation of the committee by, I think, a 5-3 vote.
Oh, I guess so.
So, what's the process for the design committee?
they'll be getting back.
Are you gonna ask the people that were on the other committee?
Yes. It'll be done in May, so we'll be getting out to you guys in May.
That's done by something.
No, that's, just so you know, I wanna hear. I'm pretty well steeped in that committee and like to keep
No, I know.
within.
Are you guys thinking maybe this year present it to the district, or not sure yet?
That's what we'll have to find out. I do know one thing is, I mean, building costs are
Yeah,
through the roof.
sure are.
Yes, I have.
So, damned if you do and damned if you don't.
All right.
So build it out of reclaimed masks, make them into bricks. Motion to adjourn.
We have meeting minutes. Did everybody read the minutes of January 22nd?
I did.
I'll move to accept the minutes of the meeting of January 22nd, 2021.
Second.
Any corrections or changes, anybody see?
No.
No? Roll call vote, Jane?
Alden, yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Yes.
Charlie?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Dawson, yes.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Alden,
All
yes.
those in favor?
Yes.
Vote with your feet.
Thank you,
That's
Charlie.
debatable, so.
See you later.
All right.
Eric,
You go
next
Wednesday
time,
night?
see, please.
So, yeah,
I'll see you there.
cool.
All right.